The South African Social Security Agency has failed to pay the 350 Rand grant to beneficiaries for the past few months. It has been reported that 10.6 million people have been affected. The agency has since issued a statement saying the verification and reconsideration process for payments is currently underway. Let's get you more on this. We speak to SASSA Spokesperson Paseka Letsatsi. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon, sir. You had a lot of frustrated South Africans, I can imagine, on your hands. Let's speak about where the situation or where the process is today, at least.
Good afternoon, Judy, and thanks for having us. I think we are delighted to say we've made tremendous progress based on our interaction last time. We can safely say currently we have actually paid about 750,000 beneficiaries, and these beneficiaries, I think we need to make it very clear that these were people who had appealed, and they appealed because one, their applications was declined because of one reason or the other. One of the reasons would have been we have picked up that they appear on the UIF database, or some of them might be appearing on the NSFAS database and so on. So we requested them to rectify that and make an appeal. So the good thing and the good news is that at least the payment has started. We are planning to make sure that we do it bit by bit, but we make sure that we clean up the process before we start making the payment for the new applicants which started this year.
So 750,000 people have been paid, but the department, not the department rather, but the agency had set a target of over 1 million by the end of the week. Still something you believe can be done?
I believe it can be done. As we speak now, there are numbers which kept on trickling in today, and I'm sure that if we can have an engagement tomorrow or Monday, the numbers would have changed. They keep changing each and every hour. We just had a meeting now with the management, which they were basically giving us an update, and I think it looks promising. We are getting towards a goal which we have set ourselves towards, but I'm sure by Monday we'll be having the numbers that would have changed. I will definitely share them with the public, but I'm actually committing that I can also make myself available for the channel to interact with you, to give you an update maybe next week, Monday or Tuesday, or at the most convenient time of the Newzroom Afrika.
Thank you, sir. So this is the reconsideration appeals for the period of August 2021 to November 2021. When we say reconsideration appeals, what are we talking about?
We're talking about people who were rejected by the system when they made an application. And this group of people would have applied because and they were declined. For an example, if you make an application, we check the database of other government agencies. If indeed you are not getting benefit from other government departments or government agencies, put it simply to say there's no double GP. And in that process, we found out that people's names were appearing to be benefiting from other government entities, which I named earlier on. But we then went outside to communicate with the beneficiaries that if you need to make a reapplication, don't just appeal, but make sure that you rectify the problem which exists within your application. Because when you apply and the system rejects you, there is a reason which is given to an individual. So these are the people who went rectify the processes, made an appeal to us. We have worked 24 hours to make sure that we sort out those particular matters. So this is that particular category of people. And one thing that we want to make to people as an appeal is that they can get their grant from Checkers, they can get it from Pick and Pay, they can get it from Boxer, or they can get it from the bank of their choice. We used to have people going to the post office, and we just want to appeal to them not to go to the post office because they will get frustrated, and we are trying to avoid those snakes which are basically found at the post office. Please make sure that you have your ID, you have your cell phone with you, which you used when you made an application, because the OTP was sent to that particular cell phone, so that you can then be able to get your 350 without any hassle.
So as you clear the backlog, what of the new applications from April this year?
Yes, we are clearing the backlog, and we are trying to make sure that once the backlog is cleared, we then start with making the payment for the new application. We just also didn't want to come up with a big bang approach, clog the system, and it collapses. And once it collapses, we come here and then apologize to people and do all sorts of things. We wanted to make sure that we do things properly, we pay people, and we make sure that we clean up the system so that within the next 2 to 3 months, we don't necessarily deal with anybody who is complaining that I was not paid, I applied last year in December and so on. We are just dealing with people who make an application in that month and are paid immediately with that particular month. But we got a very positive report from people who are dealing with payments, and they have given us an assurance that they will definitely make sure that the backlog is dealt with as quick as possible, so that when people have to be paid in September, who applied in September, they get paid within that particular month. We may be dealing with problems, minor problems as they come, because obviously in this particular arrangement we have 1 or 2 people that we may need to attend to, but we are definitely going to make sure that we interact with the public using this platform so that people understand and we take them along as we go forward in terms of making the payments.
What is as quickly as possible? What does that mean, especially in terms of timelines?
Well, what is that? What we simply mean is that we are dealing with the backlog. We need to make sure that by August we are done, September, basically in August we are done with that particular backlog. And then we start on the new footing to make sure that when we go into September, we do not necessarily deal with the historic applicants and so on. When me and you interact from September, October going forward, it's people who might have applied that month or a month, the previous month, because we need to make a verification process. But we don't necessarily want to be interacting and be dealing with people who applied last year and they are still complaining. So in the next 2 or 3 months, when we speak, we'll definitely have cleaned the slate and make sure that we deal with people who have applied in September to get their payment in September.
Mr. Letsatsi, have a restful weekend. It sounds like there's still a lot of work still to be done.